Hey everybody, welcome back. So after I got my fountain pen a while back, I realized I needed to do something with it to justify having it, because what good is it to have a cool gadget if you're not going to use it? So I started writing a letter to a friend, a good old-fashioned handwritten letter delivered by the U.S. Postal Service for just 58 cents, which ain't really a bad deal. And as I was writing, I was kind of struck by the way I found myself having to be so much more deliberate about what I was saying because I was handwriting the letter. When you're moving a pen across the paper, scratching out the words, you can't select a paragraph and move it to a different place in a letter or whatever. Well, you can, but it's really messy, and scissors, X-Acto knife, and glue, and it's just kind of a pain. So I realized too that I had said kind of the same thing when I was working on the first draft of one of my stories, In Plain Sight or Discoveries. I can't remember which. And I thought the first draft came out much tighter than it would have been when I was just typing. I can probably type 50 or 60 words a minute, and maybe a little faster in bursts, like when I'm really getting on a roll in the story. But how effective is that if I end up having to delete 300 words in the process? Because what I found was I could handwrite several pages in an hour or two, maybe north of 1,000 words, and then edit it just slightly as I typed it in. I might add a word here or shift a sentence around there, but I didn't really have to change a lot from what I'd handwritten, and I didn't have to make the edits later than I usually did when I was working from a typed first draft. And I wonder if perhaps I don't want to go back to that idea as I get ready to start my next series. As one example, I've started 2 different drafts of a story based on Carrie Underwood's song Blown Away. One draft got to almost 1,000 words before I realized it had the wrong focus. And then again, is that a function of the medium I'm writing in? Or is it me just not paying attention to the story that I'm trying to tell? That's a good question. So I decided that evening, when I was writing my friend, that I'm going to make a concerted effort to start writing letters to more people. I'm up to about a dozen letters written and maybe half as many received, which I think is a pretty good rate of return, as it were. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to write a letter every day to different friends. I know how I work, and that kind of goal just isn't realistic for me. But I think I could commit to writing one letter every couple of weeks. I claim people as friends whom I haven't spoken with other than short comments on Facebook posts in years. I haven't even emailed them. It's time to do something about that. Mark Twain is supposed to have said something along the lines of, "I apologize for not writing sooner, but I couldn't find the time to write a short letter," or something of the sort. I think what he meant was that because there's a loss of editing capability when you're handwriting something, not only do you have to be more deliberate in what you say, but you also have to plan ahead. You want your thoughts to flow as coherently as possible to make effective use of your time. And I think it's kind of interesting that in this day of being so incredibly interconnected with email and Facebook Messenger and Snapchat and WhatsApp and so many other different forms of short messaging, it seems like the more ways we have to stay in touch with someone, the less coherent our message is. I'm a huge fan of technology, obviously. I think computers are an amazing tool. I remember the excitement of my dad's voice when he first explained the idea of computers talking to one another. And that was when he was talking about a Commodore 64 talking to another computer at 300 baud. But I wonder if maybe the increase in technology has contributed to the loss of thoughtful communication. It's a whole lot easier to dash off a 15 or 20 word soundbite reply to a social media post than it is to sit down, write out a well-reasoned reply, stick that in an envelope, and pay someone to deliver it to your friend. But is that fast reply really being effective in saying what you were really trying to say? And if it's not, is it really communicating? I promise I'm not turning into a technophobe or a technophobe. I can speak. Or a Luddite. But I am considering what I can do to communicate better. So thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the post. Or if you'd rather not comment here, pop over to the blog at bobmillerwriter.com and reply to it there. Thanks and have a great day.